One key aspect of a superhero's longevity is iconography, which usually consists of a memorable costume. But sometimes, the daring few may choose to go out of their comfort zone and risk incurring the wrath of fanboys by redesigning these beloved characters. So with that in mind, I'm Adam from What Culture, and here are 10 superhero redesigns that actually worked. Number 10. Superboy. Connor Kent was created in a lab and believed that he was Superman, but when the Man of Steel died at the hands of Doomsday, the young teen would become part of the 4 heroes who continue the iconic hero's legacy in the arc Reign of the Supermen. Superboy's original costume was dated to say the least. Despite sporting Kal-El's Kryptonian colours, the young hero added a leather jacket and some cool eyewear to match, which, while relevant at the time, made his outfit age like milk. The character would later sport a costume that was fitting of a teen but also visually appealing. This time, he wore a pair of jeans and a black shirt with the variation of the S shield. The result is a much simpler costume that is less cluttered yet so much more effective. This new outfit perfectly encapsulated what a teenager would wear, someone who prefers comfort rather than flamboyant theatrics. Number 9. Black Widow. Having initially been hired to kill Tony Stark in her debut, Black Widow became a hero and gained her own costume. But to say that her original design was a bit too outlandish would be an understatement. The spy was given a domino mask, a cape, and a blue leotard. But in 1979, Natasha Romanoff would get an outfit more suitable for her profession, gone were the fishnets, and instead came in an all-black bodysuit with a gold belt and wristbands that helped break the design. At the same time, the super spy now had red hair, which also helped to contrast with her garb. And so, much like any defining superhero costume, Black Widow's design would further evolve, yet the bodysuit would be the gold standard and mold her subsequent appearances. Number 8. Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner's initial appearance was nothing special as he sported the standard Green Lantern colours. Nothing in his design made him stand out from Hal Jordan, and the character ended up looking like a red-headed version of him with no special qualities. But once the character was reworked by Steve Englehart and Joe Stalin in the 1980s, the Emerald Hero became an interesting replacement with an arrogant demeanour and rowdy attitude. This change helped to get him out of Hal's shadow, and with that change came a costume that suited Gardner much better. No longer did he look like a carbon copy of Hal Jordan, and instead, he sported a leather jacket that fit his hot-blooded personality. Had it been any other hero, this look may have ended up being too try-hard for many readers' taste, yet with Gardner, it fit like a glove. Number 7. Daredevil. For the man without fear, his yellow and red garbs made him look more like the man without shame. With an outlandish colour palette, Daredevil's original look fit the character's light-hearted early adventures, but was a bit too corny. Yet we have to cut Matt Murdock some slack for this, as the lawyer is blind. But jokes aside, his original outfit just didn't stand out from the pack, which is why by issue number 7, our hero gained his now iconic red costume, courtesy of artist Wally Wood. The single D on his chest was now changed to an overlapping pair of Ds that would become the character's iconic logo. But of course, the star of the show was the all-red costume. Not only was this a huge improvement on a visual standpoint, but it also fit Daredevil, who would employ stealthy tactics during his battles, something that clashed with a bright yellow suit. This design change would prove to benefit the character in the long run, as his subsequent appearances would keep the red. And though the yellow and red suit appears here and there, Daredevil's redesign was a better fit for his name. Number 6. Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle is an interesting character because the hero went through different iterations under different identities. The first was Dan Garrett, who didn't have any distinct qualities or an interesting costume. With a blue bodysuit and domino mask, the hero looked like a rip-off of the Phantom. Thankfully, when Steve Ditko transferred to Charlton Comics, he got to redesign Blue Beetle and gave the mantle to a man named Ted Kord. This time around, the suit was an improvement, with the insect-like eyes and a design pattern reminiscent of his namesake. With his new identity and costume, the character marked a huge step up from his predecessor, would transfer to DC after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and even inspire the Night Owl 2 character from Watchmen. This leads us to the third person to take the mantle, Amy Reyes, who bonds with the alien Scarab. This gives him an otherworldly appearance that, while as technological as Iron Man, has a biomechanical aspect to it. With the Scarab's limbs protruding out of his back, the hero sports an insect-like design which stays true to his name. Ultimately, both Ted Kord and Amy Reyes prove that Blue Beetle name can live on under different people. Number 5. Black Suit Spider-Man. Spider-Man's outfit is one of the most iconic superhero costumes of all time. Designed by Steve Ditko, the intricate web pattern and mask help distinguish the character from his peers. And though John Romita Sr. would make some tweaks after succeeding Ditko, Spidey's overall look has always retained a sense of consistency. And so the thought of changing the costume has always seemed like heresy, yet in Marvel's Secret Wars, the iconic wall crawler soon got a drastic makeover. Peter Parker ended up having his suit damaged, and so to make up for it, an alien symbiote took over the web head, which led to the Black Suit Spider-Man. Gone were the web lines across the body and even the two-tone scheme. Instead, Parker's body was wrapped in an all-black garb with a new logo design that helped to contrast the darkness. And though Peter would eventually ditch the symbiote, his drastic new look would remain one of the most memorable parts of his career. Number 4. Aquaman. Aquaman has always been the butt of jokes within the comic book fandom, mainly due to his appearances in the animated Super Friends show. This led to different artists trying to make the character look cool, such as the blue suit during his 1986 miniseries. But it would take the 1990s for the fans to get a cooler, more intimidating Aquaman. Growing his beard, losing his orange shirt, and most of all, getting a harpoon for a hand, this version of the underwater hero gave him the edge that he sorely missed. After losing his left hand to piranhas, the King of Atlantis would gain a weapon and a more aggressive demeanor. Gone was the Aquaman who rode dolphins, and instead, a hero would unleash his wrath on anyone who stood in his way. Its impact has led to more rugged looks for the hero, with the animated Justice League translating his 90s appearance perfectly, and of course, casting Jason Momoa in the DCEU. Number 3. Iron Man. Iron Man first appeared in Tales of Suspense number 39, sporting a clunky piece of machinery with its all-silver design which became his Mark I armor. An issue later, he'd quickly make upgrades to the suit and turn it gold, brandishing it when the Avengers banded together to stop Loki, the god of mischief. However, it would take 8 more issues for readers to get the defining look that would turn Iron Man into a comic superstar. The armor was redesigned to be sleeker and streamlined. He'd also get a horn-like helmet design, which was a change from his bucket head headgear. Most importantly, the Armored Avengers color scheme was given a dash of red, which combined with the gold, would become the character's defining colors. And while the Mark II armor would eventually be replaced with more efficient and effective suits, Iron Man's first drastic redesign would be the standard for the superhero's appearance. Number 2. Nightwing. Dick Grayson was Robin for numerous years until he gained a new alter ego in the form of Nightwing. Named after one of Superman's Kandor adventures, his original costume was a product of its time. With a popped up collar, a V-neck, and some snazzy gold accents, this original costume seemed like the character was going out to the disco rather than fighting crime. And so once again, the 90s came to the rescue, with artist Brian Stelfreeze giving the former Robin a much more dignified costume. With a blue V logo symbolizing the bluebird, our hero gained a form-fitting black bodysuit that was stealthy and practical. He'd even get a pair of Eskrima sticks that would become an iconic part of his arsenal. This new iteration of Nightwing was a success, a redesign that allowed the character to truly evolve from Batman's sidekick to a solo hero. Even the notorious Batman and Robin would give Chris O'Donnell a Nightwing-inspired look that was actually one of the better looking costumes in the film. Number 1. Beast. Hank McCoy initially appeared as a humanoid character with large hands and feet during his tenure with the original X-Men. Safe to say that the hero was more of a hairless gorilla, and much like most of his teammates, faded into obscurity as the title eventually was halted. But after leaving the group, the character would gain a transformation in Amazing Adventures number 11. In an experiment gone wrong, Beast uses a serum on himself that gives him fur, pointed ears, sharp teeth, and an animalistic side. Though initially gaining grey fur, it would later be changed into blue, and with that, Hank's makeover was finally complete. This redesign helped turn Beast into a visually captivating character, a sophisticated and well-read scientist who had the appearance of an animal. This look would remain with the hero, though he'd get more animalistic versions as the years went on. From the feline Beast to the lion-like one, Hank McCoy's string of unfortunate makeovers all began with his fateful transformation. And there we have it, folks, our list of superhero redesigns that actually worked. But please do let us know down in the comments section of any character redesigns that you actually really liked. And while you're there, please do let us know, how is your week going? And are you reading any interesting comics at the moment? I'm reading House of M all over again because it's an absolute classic. No more mutants, anyone? If you want to follow me on socials, I am at Strawn87 on Twitter and on Instagram. You can come and say hello to me on there. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, take care.